Miss Spitfire, Reaching Helen Keller, a novel by Sarah Miller. Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the book Miss Spitfire, Reaching Helen Keller by Sarah Miller. Now, this is a historical fiction novel about Helen Keller when she is working with Anne Sullivan, and it is through the point of view of Anne Sullivan trying to teach Helen Keller. She goes all the way from Massachusetts to, I think I was trying to combine Boston and Massachusetts, from Massachusetts to all the way to Tuscumbia, Alabama, to teach Helen Keller, who was a deaf-blind child, and she grew up to become an advocate and a writer. I believe she wrote 7 books. And this novel focuses on the early life of Helen Keller when she is being taught by Anne Sullivan. And of course, because Helen Keller is deaf and blind, it's really difficult for her to communicate with anyone in her family. And of course, her family, this is in the 1800s, her family gives her everything she wants just to keep her quiet, and they were even going to send her to an asylum at one point. Her family was go and get her away, go send her to an asylum, which in the 1800s you did not want to go to an asylum. And so it's basically the story of Anne Sullivan trying to teach Helen Keller, who's deaf and blind, that words have meaning and just how to do basic, simple things. There's a scene in the book and in the movies too where she is learning how to use a spoon, and it took hours for her to teach her how to use a spoon because she was just so headstrong. But Anne Sullivan was also hard, because of her background, and it goes a lot into her background and where she came from. She's this tough as nails Irish lady who had a hard life, and she's also very strong. So you have these two very strong personalities kind of colliding, and Anne Sullivan is basically you are gonna do this, and Helen Keller's I'm gonna see what I can get away with, But it worked. Helen Keller was an advocate until her death, pretty much, until she died at age, I think it was 87. And so this book really goes into the month that she is staying with her in Tuscumbia. And yeah, there's really not a lot to say. I really like hearing about Anne Sullivan because you don't really hear about her. You mainly hear about Helen Keller. So it was really nice to see more about Anne Sullivan and where she came from. And it was just really well written. I've read a few other books by Sarah Miller, and this one did not disappoint. And I also read her book, I think it was called The Lost Crown, also by her about the Romanovs, and that was really, really good. So, that's all I wanted to say about this book. It's not really long. It's not really too long. I think I read it on audio. It was 5 hours long. So, yeah. So that's all I wanted to say about this novel, and I hope that you enjoyed it. It's a really good it's more of a young adult novel. Let me know if you've read this book, and please talk about this topic in the comment section below if you know anything about Helen Keller. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Bye, guys.